Hi. So I got a message saying, Stacy, I realized that I shame people because of the shame that was placed upon me. Obviously, right? And shame, a lot of us want to resort to shame when we noticed shame from other people, right? So we want to shame the shamer then. And it's the same exact frequency that we're trying to get out of, which is what we shouldn't necessarily be doing. So this is one other thing that I know a lot of my demographic probably struggles with because of our own limitations and our own subconscious beliefs that I want to talk about really quickly, which is not telling somebody who has an unreasonable dream not to dream it or to have a plan B because they might be disappointed if they don't get the dream. And I'm more speaking this for parents to children or teachers to children, not necessarily in adulthood, although it still has an effect. But when you are unwiring and like growing up, when you're in your adult phases, when you should have done this when you're a child, and you're unwiring all of these limiting realities that you realize that other people don't have, this is something that you're gonna have to work through, which is this realization that at some point somebody taught you that you wanting things came with a sense of disappointment. And whether I've noticed generationally, that's a sense of, I can't provide that for this child, so I don't want this child to want this thing, or this child doesn't deserve this thing and life isn't fair, so I'm going to teach this child really young that she shouldn't want this thing or he shouldn't want this thing. And even if it's subconscious or unspoken, in my situation, which I'm so grateful that it was overt because I can now give language to what a lot of other people cannot, it was clear. I was told literally, you shouldn't want things because if you don't get them, then you're going to be disappointed. So I was constantly set up for disappointment every time I would want something. And what do you think happens in adulthood? And when you're an adult going, who am I? How do I know myself? One of the biggest ways that you can know yourself is to know what you like, what you want, what is you in there, not all of the projections pointed at you saying this is what you are. And wanting is a really big part of that. Desire and knowing what you are soulfully attracted to in this particular life path is it's a blueprint and an energetic signature of who you are to the universe. It is you in communication with the universe. And if you're a little far removed from where you would be centered and clear in your communication with the universe, there's going to be some blocks that you're going to be dealing with. And one of them might be that you were taught to not want things. And you don't even know that you were taught that. So I journaled something about what I wanted, and it was an unreasonable want, right? Unreasonable by other people's standards, meaning the people that I was raised with. So nobody needs that want. Nobody should want that want. It's an excessive want. It's not really, even. To be fair, I'm an empath. It's a need. I just want to be on the goddamn water, right? Like, I need to be on the water. And I know the universe knows that it's a need. But I wrote it down, and there's something about that my guts were, I felt this like, oh, my guts are in knots. And I recognized really quickly, oh my God, this is my guts, like the electric fence that somebody else would be trying to tame me into. My guts were going, hey, you're about to get zapped. You're walking on territory you shouldn't be walking on, right? So I am on an inside, have these defenses to make sure that I'm not conflicting with the outer world so I can stay connected to them by not wanting, right? So I wanted something different than what I have, and my stomach started to hurt. And my God, that is the story of my life. And that is also why I had cancer when I was 19 years old. So when I recognized that my guts hurt, and I recognized all of the times, and there was one other time that particularly stuck out to me, and it wasn't even my mother, it was a friend. But when I recognized the times where, dianetically speaking, if somebody is saying to you, you shouldn't want that thing because you're going to be disappointed. You might feel like a great friend, but really, if you think of like Dianetics and all of the things that would be going on in the mind at that particular moment, and all of the sensations that are unfelt, like that are not felt but are being experienced, the signature that that person's going to receive from you when you tell them don't go for their dreams is disappointment. And they're going to not only feel disappointment when they don't get the dream, they're going to feel disappointment when they dream because you told them not to. And every time they have a dream, they're going to feel disappointment associated with your face. And it's ironic because if you like get real about the threads of people that you could experience disappointment with, they all kind of could morph into the same face, right? Like, and I'm not talking about whatever. I'm not going to get too far into that, but what I am saying is that when you are setting somebody up to not be disappointed, you will become their disappointment. And they might actually reach their dreams. And that would be real weird for you, right? So I know that a lot of people don't know better. We think we're actually being kind to say like, oh, that seems like a little bit unreasonable for you to want that thing, or we ourselves are uncomfortable with somebody else wanting that thing because we either feel obligated to provide it or we don't know how we ourselves could even get it. Like there's so many things that go on in limiting beliefs, but point is, don't tell somebody else not to dream what they're dreaming, for even if you're the best friend in the world, because you don't want them to be disappointed, because that disappointment is going to be felt about you and had nothing to do with the dream. Let people dream, right? Let your children dream. And if the pangs of like, oh, this kid wants something I cannot give them, which has come up for me a million times as a mother, and I would have to notice, okay, I have to let them dream, even though I don't see a way that I could fulfill that dream. And it's like, I want a horse or I want a farm by the time we're 12, and smashing those dreams. My cognitive mind wanted to do that. So I didn't set both of us up for disappointment, but I never did that. And my kids are really amazing dreamers. So, don't tell people not to dream what they dream, because especially your children, then they're going to grow up, not know who they actually are, and their stomach is going to hurt, or they're going to have an upper limit problem and something is going to fail every time they get what they want because they're self-punishing in their communication with the universe. So, and that is just wrong. That's just wrong. Like, don't do that to somebody. Don't do that to somebody. That shit will come back to you. So let people dream and be with them, even if they're disappointed after, right? Like, you trying to save them preliminarily from their disappointment is you trying to do yourself a favor in some way or something. I don't know what that is, but just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it to your children. Don't do it to your friends. And you're allowed to dream, my love. You are allowed to dream. All right, bye.